Guys, Rumblysuperset here, back again, this time doing another news update video for you guys. We are talking about the Champion's Fate Blackfeather skin. It looks phenomenal. I'm pretty excited about this one. I'm always excited for new skins, obviously, but this one definitely hits the top of the charts as far as quality and overall aesthetic look. It definitely looks really, really badass, and I'm super excited to show you guys the model itself as well. Without further ado, let's just go ahead and go straight into the video to show you guys that, so we can go ahead and base our opinions and kind of talk about the skin itself afterwards, and then go over some of the info as far as what exactly has changed. So let's go and play that video.
I know what you're thinking. You're welcome. A stabbing is so barbaric. I ventilate. I have killed more people than you have met. Keep the gold, but your heart is mine.
Alright, so that was pretty badass. So let's just talk about the overall look of him. So we can see that he is some sort of champion, hence the name Champion's Fate. Definitely looks really cool. I like the face engravings on the sword, and amongst other features on the sword. Looks really cool. I definitely have to say that it definitely has that Chinese theme though. I definitely get the feel for that because you have the sword with the rings on it, and it's very typical of having like a Chinese type of weaponry to have those rings like actually punched into the blade. You can see there at the bottom, it's right there in the center. Yeah, and then he has, I guess that's like a demon maybe, or even like an animal of sorts on his shoulder plates. I can't really say what that is at the top of my head. Maybe a goat or something of that manner. I think it's a goat because it has horns that come off the back, I think. But yeah, and I love the gold that's in the actual splash art. It just looks really cool. Gold usually, in my opinion, has a great kind of more of a, definitely the champion feel, but more so like of somebody who is the best of their group. Like it's silver armor, like you're your second best. Gold, you're the best, you know? And so like this guy definitely is resonating that mentality of no one, excuse my language, fucks with me. You know? And so I'm pretty excited. And like he doesn't even need full body armor. He has like completely bare chest. He's that confident. But yeah, so definitely liking the direction of this skin. And I'm definitely excited to play it a bit more than I used to, because Love Bites, every time I play Blackfeather, Love Bites was the skin I always choose because it looked phenomenal. And now they just went ahead and trumped that with Champion's Fate, I feel. But let's go ahead and go back to the video and talk about it as it's playing, kind of seeing the abilities and what we think about them. Let's go and do that. Alright, so you can see there the blade. He has like these feathers on his back too, which looks really cool.
I know what you're thinking.
The one thing I noticed is that the coloring on his armor and such. Let me turn on the sound a little bit. The coloring on his armor and such is a bit different than the splash art. There's a bit more red in the armor plates, and I guess the gold doesn't really stand out as much as I thought it would, but it definitely still looks really cool. You can see the what's it called? On point, looking pretty phenomenal. He had little black feathers that kind of come off. This is a pretty cool scene. He has that emote like he's a badass, like bring it on, and he just takes everybody out. Now, granted, they probably just gave him every item, and these guys have none, because we all know that would never happen, right? Unless you go back to the old OPBF days. And there's the poor animation. For some reason, I think of Adagio. I guess it's because of the feathers. But yeah, he looks phenomenal. I gotta say, I'm pretty excited. I love the effects, such as the feathers coming off the on points, and also in the ultimate when he spins out. It looks really cool. Looks really polished, and again, I can't say I'm not excited. Let's go ahead and go to the info to see what actually changed here. So, model changes. We have the Blade Master's daughter ringed sword. So, that lady that's engraved on his sword is the Blade Master's daughter. I don't think the Blade Master would probably be too happy about that, but unless he crafted it himself. And in that case, it's kind of awkward to be, you know, engraving that type of physique of your daughter into a sword, but hey, whatever. And then we have the Blackfeather cape. Yeah, that's pretty cool. The literal Blackfeather. Bursting Blackfeather attacks. So you can, like I said, they have the Blackfeathers that kind of come off of the attacks. Winged drag. Okay, so it was a dragon head, not a freaking ram or a goat or whatever. It wasn't actually. It was something a lot cooler than I thought. A dragon. So winged dragon head pauldrons, bladed armor and Blackfeather pants, flashy violet and gold ability and attack effects. Yeah, it looked definitely really cool. Tumbling and spinning feather bursting rose offensive. Yep. Brand new ornate hearts for heartthrob stacks. Oh, I didn't even see that. Let's kind of go back and see that real quick. So, see if we can actually. I can't really fast forward with the way I do this, but let's go ahead and see if we can see that.
I know what you are thinking. You're welcome.
That effect there. The heartthrob stacks.
So
hurry up.
He's
running. Here we go. We're gonna see stacks. No stacks? Oh, there we are. Okay, I see it. Yeah, so there we are. So it looks pretty cool. Yeah. I see it. I see it. All right. Whoops. And then we have the new animations to accommodate new effects. So you can see that he had those new animations as we went through. Definitely looks really, really cool. As far as lore, I guess it could be story time, I guess. The Blade Master's daughter. They say that on the quest for the Black Master's daughter, Diego, the Goatherd, I never heard of that word, Goatherd, became Blackfeather, the champion. But this is the whole story. Diego was a weakling who dreamed of adventure. He pretended at swordplay in the fields with sticks, threatening napping goats who paid him no mind. Unlucky in love, he practiced kissing on pumpkins. That's very awkward. When word of the imprisoned daughter flew through the village, Diego saw a chance for notoriety. On the back of his favorite goats, he set off towards the home of the Blade Master, the greatest swordsman in the hills. So, on a goat. That's not very impressive, dude. The Blade Master was but the first of many overprotective fathers that Diego would face. But he was the most formidable. In 20 years, no one had beaten the Blade Master in combat. Diego was weak, but he was no fool. Standing on the back of his goat, he snuck into the Blade Master's home through the armory window. Alright, this goat has a very important role in the story. On every inch of the armory walls were hung blades of all kinds, but Diego was drawn to a glass case in the center of the room where stood the Blade Master's daughter. Of course. The Blade Master had, by magic means, imprisoned his daughter inside a ringed sword. So, okay, so he didn't craft the sword. He actually imprisoned his daughter into that sword. That's pretty rude, man. It's your daughter. So that she would always be safe from harm. Okay, so he's being very considerate to his daughter. He wants to make sure that she's safe by imprisoning her. The hilt rose above her lovely closed eyes. Her waist curved inward and her hips splayed out and down to form the blade itself. Alright, so you're swinging legs at enemies. All fear melted from Diego as he looked upon this most gorgeous of weapons. His heart broke. He pressed his nose against the glass and fogged it up in love for the first time. I mean, if he's kissing pumpkins, I mean, his standards have set very low. The sword's eyes opened. "Who are you?" she demanded. "I am." Diego paused. He could not very well call himself Diego. He made something up. So Diego is Blackfeather's name, at least in this story. "Blackfeather, my lady," he said, and bowed his flourish. The Blade Master's daughter smiled. "At last, a worthy champion. Kiss me, and I shall turn into a woman again and be yours forever." Right away! Blackfeather's mouth watered with the idea of kissing something other than a pumpkin. I wouldn't even be surprised. He leaned in close, his eyes fluttering closed. Steps sounded on the stairs. "My father," cried the sword. "You must defeat him before you can take me away on your horse." I don't have a horse, I have a goat. He didn't say that, but it's implied. I mean, a key slid into the armory's door lock. Like, God, dude, I can't imagine. It's like, all right, you defeated my father. Take me away on your horse. I have a goat. Blackfeather grabbed a hold of the Blade Master's daughter and almost dropped her. Jesus, off to a great start, as she was quite heavy. Dude, do not tell her that. We should do that horse part first, he said. I hope your horse is very fast, said the sword, or my father will catch up to us on his Mustang. God damn, his goat is gonna outrun a Mustang? I don't think so. My horse is a goat, admitted Blackfeather. Then I hope you are a champion fighter, she says. The door creaked open. I have never fought a person before, said Blackfeather, but I have practiced many sweet moves on my own. That definitely bodes confidence. I have so many sweet moves I've been practicing. I've never fought, but I have really sweet moves. You will fail, gasped the sword. I will help you, and you can free me after. I die every moment that my lips are not upon yours, crooned Blackfeather. When the Blade Master lunged into the armory, longsword at the ready, his daughter's magic power flowed throughout Blackfeather. Muscles formed where before they had only been weakness. His shirt ripped apart and fell into tatters to the floor. Jeez, he's turned into the Hulk. Fancy armor protruded from his shoulders, shins, forearms, and head. Black feathers sprouted from his shoulders and swept down like a cape. So basically, he's turning into a superhero. Have it at you, cried the Blade Master. And in Blackfeather's hands, the sword leaped to action and clashed with her father's blade with a burst of dark feathers. It is said that no one knows the weakness of a man more than his daughter. The Blade Master was lithe and strong for an old man, and would have slashed Blackfeather to bits, but the woman trapped in the sword had spent her life watching her father train and fight. She used his own knowledge against him, matching him blow for blow. Blackfeather was, this is really long, guys. Blackfeather was carried along into the battle, doing nothing more than trying to trip and fall as the swords clashed and sparkled with gold and violet flames. At last, the Blade Master's daughter trapped her father's sword in her jingling rings. He dropped to one knee. Please, he whispered, do not leave me, my daughter. You can no longer imprison me, said the sword. Blackfeather and I are in love. He has a phenomenal goat, and I truly think he's my man. To say, oh god, I can't imagine he's coming with a goat and like no idea how to fight. Basically, he is going to break the spell and take me away on his horse, goat. We will marry and live happily ever after. Actually, said Blackfeather, holding up one finger. The Blade Master and his daughter looked up at Blackfeather, who turned the sword over to admire it. It would be a shame to destroy such a beautiful sword. True, said the Blade Master. Beautiful sword? Screamed the Blade Master's daughter. All I have you know, I'm a beautiful woman. I do not doubt that, said Blackfeather, but there are many beautiful women, and only one such weapon. Fuck, you're screwed. If you keep her safe and well-oiled, I shall allow you to take her, said the Blade Master. I promise you that, my friend, said Blackfeather, and the two men shook hands while the sword screamed with contempt. What is with this story? And that is how Blackfeather, the champion, or perhaps villain, learned bladecraft. It is said he no longer wields the Blade Master's daughter, but no one knows why. Perhaps he freed her. Well, perhaps he freed her. Perhaps she turned on him, or perhaps Blackfeather grew bored with his first great conquest. The world will never know. Wow, okay, so definitely didn't turn into what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a happily ever after. At least for one person it was, Blackfeather, and two people, the Blade Master too. Just not for the Blade Master's daughter. So there you go, story time is over, guys. Let me know if you guys actually, I want to do something a little bit different, actually read the lore, since it's not just news. Maybe you can actually read along the lore with me, since a lot of you guys probably don't read the lore, like I myself don't normally read it. And it'd be kind of cool, and you know, I'm a lazy person, to just have somebody else read it for me. But there you go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, doing the Champion's Fate Blackfeather reveal here. Again, it wasn't revealed on the Vainglory Twitter. If you haven't already, check it out. You get a lot of up-to-date content as far as what's coming to the game. If you don't want to go ahead and get a Twitter, or you just are too lazy, which I understand because I'm lazy too, then these videos are here for you guys. For those who don't really know what's going on and want to know through the source that you actually may watch. But anyways, again, hopefully you guys enjoyed. And let me know what you think of story time. And I will see you guys next time. Later.